Hey everybody, good morning. How are you? Maybe some of you watching my video, maybe it's not morning where you are. Maybe it's afternoon, maybe it's evening. What are we doing today? Well, Foodie just released a video. Here's some good news. It's not a food eating video, so big cheers for that. No, she is recycling some old content. She went back through all the content that she did in Thailand, and she decided to put together a video giving travel tips. So, good news for today. We don't have to watch her eat on this react, which is always a blessing. So, I'm just thank you for producing a video where you're not eating food, Foodie. That's awesome of you. But I took a look at this travel tips video, and I've got so many comments, and you guys are welcome to leave your comments on this video about the whole thing. I'd love to hear from you. I love hearing your opinions. But before we get to that, a couple of things on Twitter. So I already brought up my Twitter. And after these things are revealed on Twitter, we'll move on to the travel tips video. So let's just start here with Acadia Strong. Thank you, Acadia. Saying, how about this for a theory? That channel was a rebrand from the Beezer show, which was in Canada. So for those who are not aware yet, it would seem that the Salah and Chantal channel is not monetized. Now, it was monetized in the beginning. Some people are wondering if the monetization was taken away. Others are saying it wasn't taken away. She just turned it off. And maybe the reason for her turning off the monetization is because she wants to take the videos from that channel and upload them on her main channel, because right now for YouTubers, the winter months are the ones where the RPM, which is what we get paid per 1,000 views, it goes up a bit. So that should tell you how broke she is. She's so desperate to make money that she's taking videos from one channel and uploading them on her channel. Maybe her RPM is a bit higher, just so she can make a little bit of extra money. So Acadia says, as far as the AdSense, for those who want to know, change your payment country. Unfortunately, it's not possible to change the country of your payment address in AdSense. If you move to a new country or territory, you'll need to cancel your existing AdSense account, account, and create a new AdSense account. So there's that. Okay, this is from Astrid222. All right, this is comments on another video. I thought it was interesting. Just Jamie says, in order to change the location with AdSense, they have to demonetize first and then reapply for AdSense. That's why she's moved the videos. She wants to get her income flowing into a Kuwait account to avoid taxes. Milk Tea discussed this several months ago. Let's see. So there's that. So is she turning off the monetization on the Salah and Chantal channel so she can re-upload the videos to get extra money? Is she doing it to avoid taxes? I mean, theories abound. But from what I've understand, there is a add-on you can put on Google Chrome that can show whether a channel is monetized or not. And there have been screenshots on Twitter showing that the Salah and Chantal channel is not monetized right now. So did she turn it off? Did YouTube turn it off for her? Who knows? Okay, this is from Perfectly Imperfect saying Milk Tea Reacts gives a theory that actually makes sense. She demonetized her couples channel so she can re-upload those videos to her main channel to make extra money during the November-December AdSense sweep. Right, because as I said, these are the months where YouTubers make a little bit of extra AdSense money. But is that allowed though? Because can you monetize a video in one place and then turn off the monetization and then put it in another place for more money? I don't think that's allowed. I think that's a big no-no. Absolutely. It's a big no-no. You can't monetize something twice. So that's it for everything on Twitter. I told you we're going to be very brief today. So now let's go on to the travel tips video. Oh joy. Miss World Traveler is going to give us some tips about traveling. And why isn't it sharing my screen? Why is it not doing that? Hold up. Oh. Okay. My computer is acting funky right now. I don't know why it's doing this. Just give me a second. There we go. It just had a bit of a derp kind of moment. There we are. There she is. By the way, Chantal, nice green screen. Girlfriend, that is a green screen. That is not your house. That is not your room. This is not your room, ma'am. This was not even your room in Thailand. This is she's using a green screen, y'all. And you know it's a green screen because nice room, and then you've got his gaming chair and her in it. Yeah, that's a green screen. Anyway, let's see what she has to say about her travel tips, shall we?
From Thailand.
Shut up. Not yet.
Cameos make great gifts
No, we're not going to cover this cameo.
for special occasions such as birthdays and baby showers. Or maybe you just need a good pep talk.
Yeah, anybody want to hire Foodie for a baby shower? Knowing how much she does not like kids, yeah. Her scameo is the perfect gift for a baby shower. This person who does not like children at all. But anyway,
get yours now.
Hi guys, assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be doing a video that I should have done a long time ago. We've been home from Thailand since October 10th, so it's been a little while, a few weeks. And I want to conclude the trip with a kind of give you an idea and some tips, give you an idea of what we spent.
Boy, you're broke, aren't you? Foodie, you are broke. You must be broke. You've been home from Thailand for 3 weeks, and it's taken you 3 weeks to make this travel tips video. Boy, you're just going back through all of your content and looking on the cutting room floor for anything you could put together to make that AdSense money. You even went so far as to take the content off of one channel and re-upload it on your channel for that higher RPM. You are broke. See, this is what happens when you go out and you get vehicles for people that you can't afford. You end up doing more mukbangs, and you're over there scraping and just conniving and figuring out, how can I make more money? You know how you can make more money? Do really great content, quality content that people actually want to watch. Stop being lazy and doing these watch me eat videos, because they're not mukbangs. Mukbangs are supposed to be where you watch a video and you get the experience of sitting right across from them and you're eating a meal together. That's not the case with you. Your videos are strictly watch me eat and stuff my face with food and be gross. They're not appealing at all. This is what you have to resort to. Just crawling around on that cutting room floor looking for little clips and any ideas on how to make just a little bit more money. What happened to your successful husband? Wasn't he so successful that you could quit YouTube? Well, I haven't seen you quit YouTube yet.
Spent budget-wise, and give you some tips if you're planning on, traveling to Thailand as a first-time traveler. And these are things that I kind of wish that I knew as well, that somebody would have given me tips on. I did look up some tips before we went, but some things, you just have to kind of experience to get an idea of what it's like. So we went to Thailand from August 29th until October 10th, I believe it is. And these are just going to be kind of rough.
42 days. And you had to know she did not want to be there for that long. She only took like 4 or 5 outfits for a trip that was over a month long. It's obvious she did not plan to be there that long. Maybe she thought she could just hop on over to Thailand, renew her visa, and hop right back. That didn't happen, did it, Foodie? Not at all. Nope. And interesting thing, Miss, I am so wise to traveling that I can sit here and do a video and give you guys tips. During her entire trip, she was complaining about the cost of everything. everything, the cost of cherries, the cost of cheese, everything allegedly was expensive in Thailand. Although she's in Kuwait now, I would think it's more expensive in Kuwait than it is in Thailand. But if you were so money-wise, Foodie, why were you so broke in Thailand?
Rough estimates, we actually think we ended up spending a little more on little like nuances that were just not.
Wait, what is this we crap? What is this we? Salah doesn't work. He doesn't have a job. He stopped working the moment he met you and you started to basically fund him. So why are you saying we? It was you. It was your YouTube money. He's been living off you this whole time. Why are you saying we? You know, fixed it. All the money that I spend on the two of us because I have a loser fake husband, it doesn't work. I'm supporting him and myself just because I'm desperate for a companion. And I want to be able to say, where's your husband? Well, where's yours, Foodie? Where's your husband? You don't have a real husband, because if you did, you wouldn't have to pay him to be next to you.
Thinking of right now, but feel free to also ask your questions in the comments. I'll try to answer as many as I can. So I had to write down some notes because I will not remember all this.
Okay, so that's interesting, that little part right there. She's like, put your questions in the comments. I'll answer as many as I can. But yet, on Cameo, people were paying her $5 to answer questions. So make that make sense. On Cameo, she would actually get paid a little bit to answer questions. And she shut that down. So shut down the part of the internet where you can actually make money to answer questions, but on your videos, you'll answer questions for free. Someone's so broke that they're having to re-upload old content to a channel, try to make a little bit of cash. You're going to shut down people who ask you questions on Cameo, but then you'll answer them for free on your video. You're stupid.
So, all right, I'll start with the tips and then I'll get into what we spent and the budget. All right. So,
before she even says a word, I don't think she's going to tell us the truth. We are never truly going to know what was really spent in Thailand as far as the entire cost of everything. Are you going to give us the entire cost of how much it cost to buy 3 seats for your trip, going there and coming back, Foodie? Are you going to include that in with the cost? How about the entire cost of all of those trips to the 7-Eleven to get snacks for you and all of the takeout and going out to get poutine? And what about the cost of going to those dispensaries? You going to tell us about that? Because we know you went to some dispensaries there. You had all of them mapped out on Google Maps, where they were and how much everything cost. You made sure to find that out before you left. Are you going to add everything in, or are you just going to lie and give us a small amount?
Number one thing that stands out the most, I guess, is, you know, we went during monsoon season. We didn't really care too much about the weather. Luckily for us, we love the rain. We love thunderstorms. It was nice watching the lightning shows every day.
Oh, so that's the narrative we're going with now? Oh, we love the rain. That's why we went during monsoon season. No, you went during monsoon season because your visa was up and you had to get out of Kuwait. And so given Salah's passport, there's a lot of places he can't go. You guys picked a place where he could go with you, and you picked the cheapest place. That's why you guys end up in Thailand. You had to get out of Kuwait, so you picked the cheapest place where you both could go, and you got out. So don't try to give us this nonsense of, we went there because we loved the rain. We loved the rain so much. Foodie, you hated the rain. You hated being out in the rain. You complained constantly about it. Salah didn't care. He was in Thailand. He was getting a free trip. He didn't care. But you didn't like the rain. Stop spinning this narrative of, we went there because we wanted to, because we loved the rain and the ambiance. Cut it out. You didn't care about the rain.
Day, every afternoon, after we would get back from an attraction and watch the lightning and thunder, you know, watch the lightning and listen to the thunder from our balcony. But if you're somebody who's looking to stay.
By the way, stupid, you have an ambiance channel, do you not? If there was ever a time and a place to get beautiful ambiance footage for an ambiance channel, and people love rain videos. They absolutely love them because it helps them to sleep. It's very relaxing to listen to the rain. I often put on rain videos to help me sleep. I have tinnitus. If there was ever a time to get a lot of great ambiance footage for a channel, that would be it. You were in Thailand, it's monsoon season, there's rain everywhere all the time. You could have easily have gotten so much footage for that channel during that time. Did you though? No, because you're an idiot.
Stay dry and wants more of the sunshine, I would go in the more spring, like summer months, I guess. I don't know if they have spring, but monsoon season, we went right in the middle of that, like September, October. So, but they are apparently the more affordable season. So if you're looking to save money on your trip, you might want to go on the off season, the rainy season.
My, how the mighty have fallen. Remember when she was with Natter? She would think nothing of dropping big money on a luxury hotel for the two of them, spending big money on food for the two of them. Look where she is now. She's so doggone broke that when she travels, she's looking for the cheapest places and the best deals. That's how tight money is. That's what happens when you take on a loser husband who doesn't work.
If you can put up with the rain, the umbrellas are very affordable there. So for us, it wasn't a big deal, actually. It did honestly get a bit tiring after a while because it literally, when I'm not exaggerating, it rained hard and thunder. There was a thunderstorm every afternoon, and I'll insert some of the clips I have from that here.
If I had gone to Thailand in monsoon season, I do have an ambiance channel. I would have been filming every day with the rain and posting it to my channel, different locations, just filling up my channel with rain stuff. What a wasted opportunity for that. I'm sorry. I mean, I love ambiance. So it drives me nuts that she went to Thailand during monsoon season. That footage right there, she could have just looped it for an hour and that would have been great. But she didn't even think about that. She started the whole ASMR ambiance channel, and yet in a place where there's easy to get ambiance footage, you completely screw up and don't do that. Okay, foodie, we get it. It rained every day. Point made. You can move on now.
And we did actually get stuck in some floods going to Kawasan Road. We did do videos on that, as you saw. But so if you're wanting to avoid that kind of thing, just messy weather, some attractions are not as fun in the rain. So it just depends, boat rides, etc. So if you don't want the rain, do not go in monsoon season, September, October, maybe even November.
What's the matter, foodie? Were you mad because you got caught in the rain and for the first time in probably months? That's a natural shower. We know how you hate the water. You hate taking a shower. Just look at it as a free shower. You get clean for nothing.
Another thing I discovered is a bit of fat shaming. If you're, a bit bigger, if you're a big woman, a big person, big woman, big man, you might get a bit fat shamed. It's only happened to me once, and I don't feel like it was actual fat shaming. I think the person was.
You know what? Then why are you bringing it up? You can't make up your mind. Were you fat shamed or were you not? She's talking about that moment where her and Salah were out and there was a mother with a child that she touched on the head, and in Thailand that is looked at as being very disrespectful. By the way, Foodie, walking around touching other people's kids is just rude to begin with, no matter where you are. But she's talking about that moment where the woman remarked, and she wasn't nasty about it, she just remarked how big Foodie was. Because I'm sure over in that country, it's unusual to see somebody who's around 400, 500 pounds traveling. Just something you don't see every day. So because that woman remarked on her size, of course, Foodie is going to go with the narrative of, I was fat shamed. And I watched that footage. She wasn't nasty. She wasn't mean. But Foodie looked at that as fat shaming. No, that was a wake-up call, Foodie. It was a wake-up call. You get on YouTube and you glorify your size. And you signal people to come to your channel that are looking for food fetish content. You know, when it suits you, you glorify your size and you try to capitalize on it and monetize it. But the moment you go out in real life and somebody remarks on it, suddenly it's fat shaming. So you got to pick a lane. Either you're glorifying your size and making yourself bigger, or, you know, like you're being oversensitive and, oh my God, they're fat shaming me. No, it's just, they're seeing you without the filters. We see you with the filters. So if we see you with the filters and we're like, man, she's getting big, who knows what they're seeing from the other side of the camera.
Just being honest, or there might have been like a language barrier. I didn't feel any malice from their comments.
Right. So if there's no malice, that means they're not fat shaming. Right? If there's no true insult, if there's no cruelty involved, there's no malice in heart, it's not fat shaming. She wasn't walking up to you and saying a bunch of insults. She was just remarking on your size, Foodie. And if you've gotten yourself to 400, 500 pounds, yes, people are going to look. Yes, they might make a comment or two. That comes with the territory. Because you made a point to get to that size. You got to, you know, just let it roll off your back. If it can. Just, you can't look at everything as fat shaming. You called it fat shaming just to get extra views on YouTube. By making a video saying I was fat shamed, it's going to get extra attention from everybody, and you know it. So there was no fat shaming. It was just you creating that false narrative to get attention on YouTube and make people feel sorry for you.
But the person, I mean, I did a video on that as well. All of them are on our couple's channel, mostly. Some of them on my channel here. But they did make, you know, this woman did make a comment on the street, thinking I was pregnant and saying I eat too much and stuff like that. So if you get embarrassed by that kind of thing, luckily for me, I don't get easily embarrassed. But if you do get easily embarrassed and you don't like people picking out your...
Shut up, Foodie. She does get embarrassed. And this incident happened a while ago. And she still won't let it go. She won't just move past it and forget about it and keep it pushing. She's bringing it up again when nothing major happened.
Appearance, or, you know, kind of pointing you out in public and stuff like that, maybe be wary of that. That might happen to you. My advice is just not to take it personal, and you'll be fine. I've heard rumors of this before going to Thailand, but I wasn't sure. Now, we stayed at 3 different hotels, and 2 of them did not allow anyone to bring in durian fruit or mangosteen inside of the hotel room because of, well, the durian, because of the strong odor. I can't blame them. There was one hotel we were allowed to bring durian, and it lingered in the room the whole time.
So you're a jerk. Knowing that you were given the warning about durian, they told you, You're not allowed to eat this fruit in the room because of the stench that lingers. You did it anyway. You're a jerk. You know, hotels, they make money by renting out rooms to people, and you ate the fruit in the room knowing you weren't supposed to, which means that room that you ate the fruit in, it might have to get aired out for the longest or cleaned in some way to get the smell out. You're affecting somebody else's bottom line just because you're a selfish witch, foodie. You were told don't eat this in the room, and you did anyway. And the not eating durian in a room, that's over here in America too. Like a lot of restaurants will not serve it indoors just for that reason. And I'm sure hotels, they probably might have the same thought as well. So it's not just Thailand. Durian is very pungent. It is very strong. And the stench lingers, and it's bad.
My bad. Mangosteen, apparently it stains, and it's hard to get the stains out. And the hotel sheets are bleach white. So they do not want any mangosteen or durian. And they actually charge a fine of, it depends, some of them 3,000 baht. So yeah, you might not want to do that. Another thing is the transportation. The transportation is very tricky and finicky sometimes. They have apps. We used apps such as Bolt, Grab. There's tuk-tuks. Those are like privately owned by the tuk-tuk owner. Grab and Bolt are like an Uber kind of thing, or Lyft. But even though they're a company like that, you put in where you want to go, and then they scan for drivers. And the thing is that the drivers have a right to refuse the ride. I'm not sure if it's like that in Uber. I'm pretty sure they can, but they're very like, they'll refuse for just anything, for like no reason. You know, if they just don't want to, if it's not enough money, they just won't do it. Like sometimes if our ride was only going to cost 85 baht, we had to wait like forever to try to find a driver.
Okay, so I'm curious. Like I'm stopping her right there. Baht to Canadian dollars. Okay, like just 85 baht. What is that? Oh, oops. Okay, so this, okay, listen. I just did the conversion, y'all. So 85 Thai baht is $3.27. That's why you had to wait for a ride, foodie, because that person driving the tuk-tuk wouldn't even make $5. And knowing you and Salah, you're both cheap. You probably wouldn't even give like a decent tip. So I wouldn't pick you up for $3.27 either, especially considering, and I am not fat shaming foodie, let's be clear about that. Look, she's 500 plus pounds, and the tuk-tuk engine is not that strong. There might be a chance that the tuk-tuk driver picks her up, and because of her excessive weight, because you got to figure there's a tuk-tuk driver's weight, there's Salah's weight plus foodie's. If foodie is 500 pounds, Salah is what, like 150, 160 pounds. So that's 660 plus pounds, plus the tuk-tuk driver. That's 700-800 pounds. Like how strong is the engine on the tuk-tuk? You're going to break down your tuk-tuk for a ride where you're not even getting less than $5? No, I don't think so.
But if it was like 200 baht, they would pick up just like that. So because they're based on commission, the higher the price of...
Okay, hold on. Going back over here. What is 200 baht? I'm just curious. Jeez. So 200 Thai baht is $7.69. I don't know why she says that Thailand is expensive. Anybody who's ever taken a taxi in the United States or Canada, you know how expensive that is. Like, you can't get away with paying $7.69 in a taxi of any kind. you're easily going to pay $15, $20. But they're going to get excited over there for $7.69. I mean, how can you say that country is expensive, Foodie? How?
The ride, the more likely they're going to be like, I want that one, you know. Also depends on traffic. The traffic jams in Thailand are bad, especially in the you know, the business hours.
Girl, have you been to LA? Look, I used to live in California, and I lived in Florida before that. That was my home. And there would be the normal traffic jams around when everybody gets off work around 4 or 5 o'clock. And for the next hour or 2 hours, you know, people are backed up in traffic. But I didn't know backed up traffic until I went to Cali. And I saw it for myself at night, late at night, near LA, like around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. It is like afternoon traffic somewhere else. And it stays that way for hours. LA's really bad.
In the early evening, it's really bad. It's really bad. It's annoying. Sometimes it would take us an hour to get to a place that's like 20 minutes away or more. If you think about the transportation,
just an hour, then that's not real backed up traffic. Like I said, LA, you be in traffic for hours. I'm not even kidding.
Apps is that they charge a flat rate no matter how long it takes you to get there instead of a meter. But the taxis are allowed to refuse trips as well. So just be aware that your ride might get canceled. You just have to have a lot of patience and you'll be fine. All right, now I'm going to get to the budget, the money side of things. All right, I'm going to tell you how much we spent on each category roughly and things like that. So the currency in Thailand is the Thai baht. Mm-hmm. To give you an idea, 1 Canadian dollar is 25 baht. Mm-hmm. USD is 35 baht. Mm-hmm. British gold pound, 43 baht, and Australian dollar, 22 baht.
Okay.
For KD, for Kuwaiti dinar, it's 115 baht. You can use your credit cards, but they primarily like cash there. So they like you to use the Thai baht while you're purchasing things in Thailand. You can even pay for your hotels that way. It seems that the cash currency is actually preferred over other methods. So make sure you...
Maybe it's because they don't want to get ripped off. Maybe they've dealt with people ripping them off or scamming them using credit cards.
Exchange enough money. And I think the best place to do that, from what I understand, is, I've been told, is at the airport. There's a whole bunch of booths. So make sure you look for, you know, you compare prices. It can be competitive to get the most bang for your buck. Now, we actually found a really good exchange rate at a place here in Kuwait before we left. So we were able to exchange all of the money that way. Some things we did pay by credit card, but it's mostly cash.
Something tells me that when she and Salah went to the dispensaries, they pay cash. She didn't want that on her debit card or her credit card. That's just a thought. Like, all the stuff she wanted to hide, I'm sure she paid cash for. And then all the stuff she thought was okay, they put on the card.
So we have different categories for the budget, okay? You might go over, because especially if it's your first time in a country, you know, it just happens, you know. Now, we're going to start with the airfare. So we flew with Qatar Airways, and the airfare was 300 KD per person. Now I'm going to talk in KD and bahts, and I'll put the conversions for other currencies here somewhere, okay? So to give you an idea.
Oh. Oh, wait. Okay, it's 300 KD per person. But Foodie, if you are getting 2 seats, which I'm sure you did, because listen, I've flown before. Airplane seats are so small. They're so small. They're so uncomfortable. And you are 2 to 3 times my size. I'm sure you got to get 2 seats just for you. So are you accounting in for the extra seat? Is that amount 2,681 Canadian? Is that including the extra seat, or did you like exclude that?
So yeah, so we spent total 600 KD for the flights alone. That was return trip.
And
The hotel.
wait. And what about the food? She probably doesn't want to put that part in. Like, I know they serve food on those flights, but knowing Foodie, she bought extra food. Can you imagine Foodie waiting on the airplane meals? She tries to say, oh, they just kept feeding us. Well, maybe it's because you kept complaining about wanting food and being hungry, and they didn't want you throwing a temper tantrum like 20,000 feet up.
Hotels, again, we stayed in Bangkok for, was it a couple of weeks? And then we went to Pattaya, and then we went back to Bangkok.
So you were broke. Who does that? Who goes to Thailand and you're hopping from one place to the next, especially someone in her condition? She doesn't like to move. She doesn't like to move around. She doesn't like to travel. So why else would she travel back and forth to all these locations unless they were tight on money and looking for the cheapest place possible? You were broke.
So we spent a total of it was 248 KD for the hotels total, which is 30,000 baht. Yes. But
so what's the total? Anybody keeping count? I got to go back. So, okay, so I'm trying to remember here. The flight itself cost over $2,000. That's what she said. I can't remember the exact number, even though I just saw it. So 2,000 plus for the plane tickets. Another 1,160 for the hotel. So we're up to $3,000. What about the cost of food for over a month? What about the dispensaries? Yeah, add in another 1,000 or so for that because Foodie just can't stop eating. So yeah, it was an expensive trip.
These are approximations within like few, give or take, but 30,000. Transportation. So transportation on a daily basis, like if we're going to attractions, now you can spend a lot less. Okay, you can take the boat we took to get to Icon Sayin, the hop on, hop off, 30 baht per person. So cheap, dirt cheap. You can take public transportation.
You know, right here, she's contradicting herself. You notice that throughout this tips video, she talks about how cheap everything is in Thailand. The airplane tickets were expensive, of course. Okay. Maybe the hotels were a little bit expensive, but everything beyond that was cheap. Yet while she was in Thailand, she was complaining about how expensive allegedly everything was. The cost of cheese, the cost of cherries. So how can you be in a country where everything is cheap and at the same time complain about how expensive it is, Foodie?
Maybe 60 baht, you know, for the sky train, whatever. We don't really like people-y places, and I just like the comfort of the AC, the comfort of the getting to A and B very quickly. So if you're looking at taking a Bolt or a taxi, you're going to be looking at from where we were, depends how far you are, right? We spent about 300 baht a day on transportation. And it cost us to get from...
Really? That's all it cost for a taxi over there? $10? You got off light. I used to take taxis all the time. $10 is nothing. Nothing.
Bangkok to Pattaya, about from there and back, about 4,000 baht. It was about 2,000 baht per way. So we spent...
Okay, again, I'm going back to the conversion. Hold up. Ooh. So 2,000 Thai baht is equal to $76.92. For like a big round trip, $76.92. It really ain't bad. It really isn't.
About 16,000 baht in transportation. But again, you could save on those costs, definitely. Now, this was in budget for.
Okay, so we're up to like almost $4,000 for her trip. Yeah, you're broke, girl.
So that's fine. We made sure to budget extra because I know myself, and Salah is similar with these things. So
girl, stop it. You're talking about we were budgeting. We were being so smart with our money. No, you weren't. Because if you're in a country and you're there for an extended period of time, you do not go to a dispensary to get some stuff. And you're not spending endless amounts of money you don't have to on fast food. You're not sending Salah to the 7-Eleven to get junk food. Nope, absolutely not. If you go to a country and you are traveling and some kind of whoops moment happens and you can't leave for a long time, that's when you got to get really, really smart with the money. And it sounds like you weren't smart. You were taking taxis everywhere and doing things you really did not have to do. Like you weren't budgeting. You were still spending stupidly.
So we knew, like, okay, if we have to cut corners somewhere else, we want to be comfortable with the transportation. So we don't want to stress ourselves out with planning all of the extra where I need to transfer on this bus. No. The bus, I think, is like 8 baht. If you really want to save and you have no problem with public transportation, you can save a lot of money. Food is a major expense, that's for sure. We spent 26,000 baht total.
Holy-ish. So we're up to about $5,000 now. I'm just trying to keep a rough number in my head of all the things she's showing on camera. $5,000 easily. 5 or 6 grand on this trip. Yeah, you broke. Is that why the old SUV is gone? Because you had to sell it to finance all of this, foodie? Over $1,000 in food.
For the trip on food, give or take.
And is that amount counting the junk food? Like, what food are you putting in that amount? Is it like regular food and junk food, or is it junk food like another separate amount? Because we know you were going crazy with the snacks and the poutine.
That's actually not including, those are just meals. That's not including trips to the 7-Eleven.
There you go.
We would spend about 500 to 600 baht per day on food. The food was kind of pricey because we would be...
Wait, stop. I'm sorry to keep stopping. 500 to 600 baht a day on food. What is that? Hold on. Wait. 500 Thai baht is equal to $19.23 Canadian. Anybody believe that Chantal spent less than $20 a day on food in Thailand? Because I don't. Not while she's in Kuwait and she's over there ordering takeout, and the takeout is like 30, 40 bucks a pop. I don't believe that she spent less than 20 bucks a day on food. Nope. Lies everywhere.
Ordering in or going to restaurants. Sometimes we would go to a fancier restaurant and it would cost 1,500 baht instead of the 500 baht a day. You could eat street food sometimes for 80 baht a meal for a plate of pad thai. So, but Salah's Arab and he loves Arab food. So we would go to Arab Street a lot and like go to the shisha lounges and eat a huge Arabic meal.
You know what? If I had somebody that I was traveling with and mid-trip they decide to turn into a mooch and they're trying to complain about whatever food I'm getting, I'd be like, then you go get a job and you get your own food. If I'm paying for this trip, you're not contributing anything money-wise. You eat what I say we're going to eat because this is what I can afford. He's in Thailand with her. He was, and she's paying for everything. And he has the nerve, the gall to complain about free food. Then you know what? starve. Starve, Salah. Or you go out and you get a job and you make money, you can buy whatever you want. But imagine that. Imagine a mooch having the nerve to complain about the food that's being offered and insisting and demanding on something better. Get a job, you bum.
Those kinds of things. You know, we did enjoy the street food once in a while. We went to Jod Fair, yada yada. But overall, we did spend a lot more on food than, I mean, you could find cheaper as well. It just depends on what you're wanting.
If you spent more on food, it had a lot, I'm sure, to do with you, because you just won't stop eating. And if part of that has to do with Salah insisting on certain kinds of food or higher price food, well, again, that is also your fault, because it's your money. And if he's trying to demand something out of you that you can't afford, tell him to go kick rocks. It's your money. 1 second. I don't want to take that phone call. Let's go on.
To spend, and how good you are at finding deals and stuff like that. Attractions. So you have to budget for attractions because they cost money, and you have to find the best price. It's a bit tricky. There are different companies that sell ticket prices at a discounted price. So try not to book directly from the actual site if you can. So for example, the elephants cost 2,000 baht each for the day, but we were able to find it at
Poor elephants.
1,800 each because we bought off of a site. The tigers were 1,200 baht for the two of us. We got on a special as well. I think the Sanctuary of Truth was 800 for the two of us, 800 baht. The Big Buddha was free. There's some attractions that are free. There's a ton of free things you can do. Lumpini Park is free. Many of the parks are free. There's a lot of things you can do for free. Some temples are free, some charge. You just have to really do your research. But for us, we did a few expensive attractions, and like the elephant conservation, etc. But there are some that were free, and we spent about 20,000 baht total for attractions.
So attractions, almost $600. No, for her it's almost 800. That's why she broke.
Attractions.
He just got through saying there's a lot of stuff you can do in Thailand for free. So if her and Salah had been money smart, a lot of the money that was spent didn't necessarily have to be spent. She could have had this whole arc in Thailand of how to do Thailand for cheap, how to get the best food for cheap, how to do attractions for cheap, things you can do for almost free. Turn that into a whole entertaining arc. They didn't do it. He was just spending money left and right. Stupid.
Souvenirs and gifts. We actually had to purchase some luggage, which was kind of pricey. We had to buy 2 suitcases to fit everything we bought. After we came back, we gathered with family and friends, and we gave out the gifts we brought, just little things, But we ended up spending about 15,000 baht on souvenirs.
Wow. So who are these family and friends getting all these souvenirs? And would it have made more sense to just wait until you got back to Kuwait and then just buy this stuff on Amazon and have it delivered? I will never understand the thinking of finding stuff in Thailand. And we're not talking about designer clothes or designer shoes, but you have so much stuff that you actually have to go out and buy another suitcase. And that's going to cost money just to transport it from one place to another. Like, is it worth it? Like, when you're buying things that really are not that expensive and you'll probably find enough in the country that you're going back to, why spend the money there? Just wait till you get home.
And then, so including the suitcases, I can't remember how much exactly they were. I'd have to ask Salah. he purchased them. I don't remember. I forgot to ask him. But the souvenir.
Maybe Salah was thinking ahead. Maybe that was kind of sneaky on his part. Like, maybe this Thailand trip, he was just being kind of sneaky and saying, yeah, babe, buy me a suitcase. Yeah, we need that for souvenirs. Maybe there was some pre-planning involved where he plans to leave Foodie and he needs a suitcase. So he wants to be able to bring that back. And when he wants to leave, he can just pack a suitcase and go.
Souvenirs were 15,000 baht roughly. So then we have SIM cards. You're going to have to get SIM cards. You can get them in the airport when you arrive. There's so many booths of SIM cards everywhere. Very competitive. So be sure to shop around. I know it's probably not the first thing you want to do when you're tired and get arriving, but you have to do it. They have really good all-inclusive, like unlimited data plans, high-speed data plans, 5G. And those were 4,000 for the two of us, 4,000 baht for the two of us for the entire time we were there. So all in all, we spent approximately 115,000 baht for the entire trip. So that's 1,000 KD.
No. But wait. The math ain't mathin'. I was kind of trying to add all this stuff up in my head. It's more than $4,000. What are you talking about? But still, even with $4,000, it's a lot of money for her. $4,000 used to be nothing for Foodie. Nothing. Because she had the much bigger paychecks. But now, $4,000, that's a lot of money out of her pocket. And now she's in Kuwait. And now she just bought a car or micro leased a car for Salah. Foodie, you're doing all this stuff, all this expensive stuff, and you can't afford it.
But Salah thinks it's a bit more. So, but that's basically what we spent. But for all
there we go. Yeah, I told you right there. Look. Look at the total. $7,000. 7,000. Now, if they'd gone to Thailand and been smart with the money, seeking out the cheapest places and just trying to do more walking and looking for the free attractions and all that, and her not going crazy with the food and going to 7-Eleven every chance she got, it would not be $7,000. The fact that she went to Thailand, and Thailand is a lot cheaper than most places, and that amount was spent, is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Chantal, you talked about wanting to go to Japan at some point. Let me tell you, what you just got through paying in Thailand, you would probably pay triple that in Japan because Japan is expensive.
All of these categories. So it just depends. Like I said, if what you spend on transportation, you can spend less. And it's entirely possible to spend a lot more. You could eat at more gourmet restaurants.
We saw all the footage from Foodie during the whole Thailand trip. There wasn't a whole lot of going out and walking around. So as far as the expense for the attractions and the transportation, I think those two things were small in comparison to her food bill. I'm sure the bulk of the money was spent on just getting to Thailand, and then once she was there, just keeping her fed for 42 days because she was eating everything in sight. Plus, you didn't cover the dispensary bill, Chantal. How much did you spend at the dispensary, girl?
You could be doing a lot more things, theme parks. It just depends on your budget and how much you're willing to spend, especially hotels. They have really, really, really fancy ones. They have really, really cheap ones. They have hostels. They have, it just depends. So, but just giving you an idea of how our experience was. But one thing's for sure, you definitely have to try 7-Eleven at least once when you're there. You have to try the Thai tea and the cheese toasties from the 7-Eleven.
You know what, Chantal? I don't have to travel to try those things. We have 7-Elevens over here in America. I don't have to get a plane ticket and go to another country to see a 7-Eleven. Cheese Toasties, I can find those at the grocery store. Chai tea, same thing. If that's all you really remember from Thailand, you did it wrong. Because all the things you just named, we can get here in the States without getting on a plane. You're welcome.
If anything else, you have to do it. All right, guys. So that's about it. I hope that helped you. I don't know if you guys are planning a trip to Thailand. Let me know in the comments if any of you are. And if you have any questions, I hope I can answer them for you. All in all, we had an amazing time away from the Kuwait heat. That was one of the things, especially why we wanted to go, because I was thinking, do I want...
Chantal, you weren't going to Thailand to escape the heat. You were going because you had to go, because you are a tourist on a tourist visa. You are not a permanent resident. Every few months, you have to leave and wait to come back. And maybe something happened with your application and they said, well, we'll think about it. That's why it took you 42 days to get back into Kuwait. But you got to know at some point, they're going to deny you. They're going to catch on to what you're doing. And they're going to say, hey, this person's been in this country for a long time. We got to send her back to her home country. And then they're going to stamp your passport and you're not going to be able to go to Kuwait anymore. So you're just putting off what's coming.
I want to go all the way to Canada. It's still summer there, but Thailand was still hot, but it was more humid, but it was less. It was like in the 30s, and Kuwait at the time was in the 50s. So it was a good escape from the heat. So
I don't know why somebody who never goes outside complains about the weather. Chantal likes to stay indoors, so it doesn't matter what the season is, whether it's summer, spring, autumn, fall, winter. She doesn't go outside much. So why is she complaining about the weather? She's not active. She's always making an excuse and crying and whining about the weather. Oh, it's too cold. It's too hot. Oh, it's too windy. Blah, 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 blah. How can someone who never goes outside complain about the weather?
So I said, am I going to go to Canada alone? Or, I don't really want to go right now alone.
Boom. There it is. I don't want to go to Canada alone. So she wants to go to Canada. She just doesn't want to go back by herself. She doesn't want to leave Salah alone. As far as she is concerned, he is now a possession. She owns him because she's done so much for him, and she's invested her time and her energy and her money into this man. Therefore, at this moment, he's a possession. Nothing and no one escapes Chantal unless she lets you go. So if her and Salah could go back to Canada together, she would go back in a heartbeat. But because he cannot go, then she's not going. Even though she should go back home and just be her true, authentic, feral self. She's not going to go because she doesn't want to leave him behind. And God forbid he has a good time without her. Because if they're thousands of miles apart, she can't stop him from going into the red room. That insecure, jealous female, he's not going to get his freedom. No, ma'am, not for a second.
I want to go on a trip with my husband, and we said, okay, let's go. It was kind of impromptu. Like, let's just go. Let's do it. So I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for listening. And I hope it helped you in some way.
It didn't. Go away. It didn't help anybody. It didn't help anybody. Let's see. Blah, 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 yada, yada. All of y'all just kissing her butt in the comments. So Ariel says, wow, that's much more expensive than I expected. Like I said, I'm sure a good part of the reason why it was so expensive had to do with her. Buying 2 seats for her instead of 1. All of the food that she had to constantly eat. All of the junk food. That's what really made the trip go crazy with the expenses. Just constantly keeping her fed. junk food, fast food, street food. She always had to put something in her mouth. All right. So that's it for this react. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe. I've got stuff that I need to do today. I just wanted to get this out of the way and posted because I've got a lot of, laundry and stuff I need to continue with. So y'all take care, and I hope to hear from you. Bye-bye now. See you later.